and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So I have a story for the people, and I'm going to tell you guys what is going on. So first, let me just get an intro to this, and then Faze, the first tweet that you're going to pull up, it has no sound to it. It's just Nancy moving fast, which is a rarity. But yeah,
I feel like there's a joke to be made there, but I can't think of it.
I don't know. Maybe it's
someone in the chat. Let us know.
Yeah, come up with something hilarious. So first, I want to just intro this story. Enough with the infighting. I know a lot of larger platformers like Sam Cedar, Jank, Anna, Emma, David Dole, David Pacman, you know, they're all yelling at Jimmy. Yeah, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Force a vote. Jimmy's whining. Jimmy's doing this. Where's your damn plan? Now's not the time to fight. Really look at the Democrats in Congress. The stimulus bill didn't do crap for us. $600, that's all we get, $600. We got money for a coup for Venezuela, money for Israel so they can give health care to their citizens. We have money for a Navy and missiles and weapons. No money for the people? I mean, look, David Pacman, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, Emma Vigeland, Sammy Boy Cedar, David Dole. I get it that you guys got some problems with Jimmy. But here's the thing. Jimmy Dore said this best last night during his live stream. This isn't about him. This isn't about Jimmy Dore. I'm going to say this again. This isn't about Jimmy Dore, but I'll give a shout out to Jimmy Dore for sharing this idea, and I will actually give this proposal. You guys, especially for the bigger platforms, you can run with the hashtag Force to Vote. Just join up with us. I'm saying everybody, everyone, whether you're conservative, whether you're a liberal, whether you're a progressive, whether you're a libertarian, whether you're green, whether you're a socialist, I think we all can agree we're all being screwed over. Universally, Americans agree that we need Medicare for all, universal basic income, ending regime change wars. Jimmy Dore is just the messenger, but this is bigger than Jimmy. Now, if people are jealous that he came up with this idea, okay, fine, you're jealous. We're all adults here, okay? But damn it, he's on point with this. And when he first proposed this, I was thinking, well, gee, you're asking a lot from AOC. I mean, what's going to come of it? But my goodness, with the aftermath of everything, holy crap, he was right. Jimmy Dore was right. So let's do this. Can you imagine what we can do together, all of us, if we just push back? With that being said, let's play the first tweet. Here's Nancy moving fast. Oh, look at her go. Look at her go. Look at her go. Look at her go.
I wonder if they had to speed that up 100 times.
Look at her go. Look at her go. I'm Nancy. Everyone calm down. I feed the people. I got to eat my ice cream.
Man, she's putting all that work in,
boy.
signing those documents.
Oh, man, then she's got to go on her vacation. You keep on going, Nancy. Yes, Slay Queen Mama Bear.
I would never.
Slay Queen Mama Bear.
I would never be able to work that hard to, like, sign 50 documents.
There's Mama Bear.
Crazy.
Mama Bear. Mama Bear. Mama Bear. All right, let's end that video. Okay, it's done.
And those were just the execution orders she was submitting. The bill wasn't even out yet.
All right. So, again, Nancy. So, look, I'm going to be a little bit hard on Cenk because, again, look, yesterday and the day before, Cenk and a lot of other people have been trying to punch down on Jimmy. But I just found this interesting article that Cenk Uygur tweeted out. It's from Mediaite. Cenk Uygur blasts sociopath media who praise Nancy Pelosi as master legislator over COVID stimulus bill. Cenk Uygur blasted mainstream media figures who persisted in describing Speaker Nancy Pelosi as master legislator after she nickel and dimed the American people in a stimulus package that's far worse than the bill that could have been passed before the election. In Uygur's opinion, the primary reason Speaker Pelosi opted to delay passing a critical stimulus pass is simple. She was willing to sell out suffering Americans if it might harm President Donald Trump politically. And there's a video of her saying that. Nancy said that. Good old hagbag Nancy. And by the way, just in case people are wondering if I'm being sarcastic, no, I'm really trying to be offensive towards Nancy. She has not earned my respect.
Kit, there are a lot of hags and bags out there that's incredibly offensive as a comparison.
Well, then we'll talk after the show, but I'm not apologizing. Nancy Pelosi, this is a quote from Cenk Uygur. Nancy Pelosi made a purely political calculation prior to the election, he says, and that calculation was turn down a more robust relief package that was being proposed by the White House because she knew that there was a possibility that would help Donald Trump's chances of getting reelected, which is true. But, Nancy wanted to be evil. That's why, that's what it was really about. And that's the reason why she decided to reject that package and then immediately sign on this skinny package that doesn't give Americans the relief they absolutely need. Uyghur continued to point out that no one who noticed Speaker Pelosi's shrinking demands for this relief bill could also believe she's living up to her reputation as a savvy, hard-nosed negotiator. We've been calling it out for years here at Heartlands Media. So has Mikasa Sukasa, so has Convo Couch, so has Jimmy Dore, so has Kim Iverson, so has a whole bunch of other people. We've all been saying it. But yet, remember, during the election, it was all about stopping Trump. And Nancy was a slave queen, and she was a mama bear. She was doing this and that and all that other crap. I mean, Jank, you're kind of late to the game because you're covering Trump 24/7 and Republicans. And I get it. It's low-hanging fruit, but, you got to punch at the Democrats too, Jank. And, I mean, I guess Jimmy Dore is right. Going on to continue, Pelosi started negotiations at $3.4 trillion. He says in the House they passed a bill for $2.2 trillion in new funding. Right now, there's only $480 billion, so she got almost 15% of what she originally wanted. Any reporter who calls her a massive legislator is not really a reporter. They're just a really sad sociopath for people in power. Uyghur's co-host, Anna Kasparian, pulled no punches in labeling the $600 checks that many Americans are set to receive from the bill as a nickel and diming and people in need and wholly inadequate. So, Jank and Anna, join the fight. Hashtag force the vote. Make it happen. Come on. Look, guys, I remember the early days of TYT when you had that rinky-dink studio. Okay? You guys made a mistake. Same thing, AOC. You made a mistake for voting the bill. Okay? Jimmy Dore's right. We got to do this. Hashtag force the vote. What does holding a politician's feet to the fire look like if it's not hashtag force the vote? I mean, we got to do something because if we don't set some groundwork for 2021, 2022 will be a slaughter for independents, progressives, and yes, that means Nancy Pelosi's fantastic, idiotic party, the Democratic Party too, because if you don't think the Republicans are going to come back with a vengeance, you're living under a rock. Daniel.
So here's the thing: is I had a lot of where I grew up and everything. It was Oak Park. If you know Oak Park, Illinois, it's relatively affluent. There's a lot of people I still keep in touch with because again, we've talked about this before. And things I don't cancel people. I really want to know their opinions, especially if they disagree with me, because on the off chance maybe I can think of a better idea on something that I currently have. There are so many people that. I think we've talked about this before on the show, and it's the same reason we covered the entire primary and the election the way we did. Simultaneously, we've been talking about for years that there just aren't enough people that are sick and dying on the streets, and it's sort of happening, and not because we wanted it to, but because that's the direction the country was determined to go. And America is a falling empire. We're the largest empire ever. We beat the British. If you look at the map of the Cold War, that's basically our empire. We control through trade. It's not the same as the British imperialism, but everything is falling apart right now. We are right now. We talked about the fall of the Roman Empire. The fall of the American Empire is happening right now. We are witnessing it in real time happening. And what is going to happen? Well, Rules for Rulers show us exactly what happens. As things continue to collapse, people are going to dismiss the idea of truth more and more. We did a number of segments in the past couple months of how, well, the Democratic Party and Republican Party are like, science, math, those aren't things that exist. The poor people are okay. They're not, those sort of things. They're ignoring math and science because as the reality of the world around them, the reality of this constraint and this constriction that's happening in America to our people is happening, they have to find more and more clever ways of excusing its existence and its reality. It's really hard to do now. But again, why in Trump? Perfect example. When it was the entire election, we didn't really talk about Trump all that much. And a lot of people, back to the people I was talking about, got really mad at me for us not, you're not talking about how terrible Trump is every single day. The reason for that is, in reality, the Democrats are the majority party. In theory. They have, in theory, union rights, labor rights, everything that we talk about, the things that would make them undefeatable forces in federal, state, and local politics across the entire country. They have the ability to win, to change the way the America is, really invest in people, education, healthcare, things of that nature, build new infrastructure so we can compete with China. Instead, the Democratic Party is just the Republican Party. It's just two wings of the same bird. And we have Nancy Pelosi at the head of this in the House, being in power for as long as she has. You have Mitch McConnell on the other side. They're basically the same. Mm-hmm. Their PR is the only thing that's different. Coke and Pepsi are still really bad for diabetics. Doesn't matter if it's a Pepsin base or a cola base. They still have a lot of sugar. That's where we're at right now. So we have this perfect storm of a collapsing America where everything is happening. If you look at Every single empire come before us that has collapsed internally, which most of them do, this is exactly what it looks like. This is exactly how it acts. And this is exactly what happens to the people.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I want to pull up another tweet. Again, just a reminder, Jank, again, I'm so glad that you spoke out about this yesterday, but I want to pull up a tweet that you did. Let's pull that tweet up again. And again, he goes on to say, this was yesterday, or the same day when he just made that announcement about Nancy's vote. For all hashtag Force the Vote people who absolutely refuse to have any strategy, who is the progressive who is going to run against Pelosi and caucus? If you don't have one, what is the next step? Who do you want instead of Pelosi? How do you get your goal? No plan means no victory. Jank, look, you agree here that Nancy Pelosi is a sociopath. It's time no longer just to talk the talk. You got to walk this walk, buddy. All right, and I invite you to join us.
And by the way, Jank's also full of it for another reason. Every person that was anti-Trump is guilty of this exact same sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
And the irony is that it's different here and it doesn't matter as much. Who do we put up against Trump? That's sort of a really important question because we didn't think about that. Everyone said, just worry about Trump. Now we got Biden. That's going to be wonderful. And nothing's going to change. And Kit we had a story on that Biden's not even changed the immigration policy. That's how much of a not change he is. He's just going to he's not going to escalate Trump. He's just going to maintain it. That makes all the difference in the world because we said, who cares? Just replace Trump. We don't need a strategy. Jank was one of those people. He said, we don't need a strategy. Just get rid of Trump. And now we're in this position because we didn't think.
All right. Mm-hmm. Real quick, let's pull up the next tweet. It's from Jimmy Dore. Again, very fundamentally important. And this is something that Jimmy Dore tweeted out today. And this is true. The United States government has abandoned its people, and they are congratulating each other over a bill that screws everyone but the wealthy. It's profoundly immoral, designed as a policy to wipe out 1/3 of our economy. This is beyond a tragedy or farce. They're begging us to revolt. Hashtag force the vote. AOC, you made a mistake voting for the bill. We all make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Guys, I'm not perfect. I'm no hero. And if I had to grade myself, I'm a C+ individual, okay? There. That's as far as I'm willing to go in this world. But this is beyond evil what our Congress has done. AOC, we make mistakes. I make them every damn day. You could join the fight. Hashtag force the vote. All those who were yelling at Jimmy, I invite you guys to join us. We need each other. Conservative voters, libertarians, Republicans, socialists, democratic socialists, Greens, independents, Democrats, liberals. We can unite. This Congress only represents the top 1%. Jimmy Dore is right, but this isn't about anyone or anyone's social status. This is bigger because we owe the next generation a better future. And if we don't fight for them now, how will we look them in the eyes? We'll have to look at them with our eyes at the ground because we can't look them in the eyes because we chose not to fight. We won't be able to speak to them because of how cowardly we were. Congress dances and drinks because they believe you are weak. Well, let me let you on a news flash. You're not weak. You're not scared. You're not inept. You are a fighter. You are that knight on the hill. You are the hero. And when the people lead, that's when the leaders follow. So share it wide. Hashtag force the vote. Hashtag withhold your vote. And we got to keep on fighting till we can fight no more. Because you want to know why? You're not weak. And as soon as Congress is done doing its dances and they look down from their ivory tower, we're going to look right back up at them and say, my, how delicious the rich look.
Yeah. And to really build on what Kit said, it's something I think about. It's part why we do this in part is right now I'm far too young to have kids and I don't have anywhere near enough money to raise kids. But
I'm not competent enough to do that.
There you go. Well, either way, for whatever reason, in 40 years, if things collapse or we win, either one, but in this case, let's say collapse, how are you going to answer the question when your kids look up at you and say, what did you do to try and stop this?
Exactly.
Are you going to have a good answer? Everyone should have a good answer. At this point, there's so many people in need. Everyone should be able to have a good answer. But the only real difference, the only thing that's holding us back is obviously the corruption. But between us, it's just working together on a great enough scale and having enough funding for it. But you don't need that much money if you have people that care and people that stay. And it's really sad. One thing we've seen in the number of years we've been doing this kind of coverage is the number of really good people that just burnt themselves out completely and are no longer a part of this, or the number of people that become cynical, or the number of people that aren't really doing anything. So put yourself in a position to succeed, even if it's a low chance. When we started Hard Lens with just Kit's cell phone, I said to Kit, it was, hey, we have like we're like, just in talking the Chicago scene, we're running a marathon without any training against 1,000 other people, and we need to come in first. However, it's hard to do. But if you have a lot of people also in that race, someone's going to finish first, and all you need is someone to finish first. So shout out to everyone, subscribe, and finish first.
Also, again, this is bigger than Jimmy. And to all those detractors, all those people yelling down at Jimmy, you know, Jimmy Dore will probably say this too, and I'm going to say it too with him. This is bigger than him, and we invite you guys to join us. I mean, together. Can you imagine if we curb stomp Congress? It'll be a fun bonding experience. I mean, hey, what's better thing than smacking the crap out of people who don't give a damn about you and people who are corrupt and evil? I mean, I think we could all get along with that. I mean, that might solve a lot of our problems. Just imagine if we work together.